Hey, how's it going? Recording another video. I just ate something that was really hot and my mouth is burning and my nose is running, but whatever. This is the time I have to record, so I'm gonna use it. Bleh. Yeah, alright. What am I looking at? Oh, yes. The Fitness Villainess. Oh. If you haven't seen any of these other videos, the gist is I'm gonna give you a general rating and then go into why I gave you that rating. Yeah, geez, my mouth. Yeah, I mean, before we get into anything, usual YouTube garbage, like, subscribe, leave a comment if you have another series that I should talk about, and, yeah, okay. So, for this one, what am I gonna give it? 5. It's alright. It's mid. Super mid. Okay. Now onto the meat, I guess, whatever. My mouth hurts. General gist as to why I'm giving it a 5. Well, it's basic. I've seen a million other stories like this, and it doesn't do anything well to the point where it deserves anything higher. Probably only like one thing that's even mildly entertaining throughout the entire thing. General gist of the series: main character gets reincarnated as this girl. She's the villain. And these are her two, well, co-villains, I guess. Like, they're also villains in the original series. Yes, it's an isekai. I know. I go over way too many isekais. That's fine. Yeah, so she gets reincarnated as a villain. I think this title's bad because that's like maybe, I don't know, 3 chapters out of like a 46 chapter thing that I read. And I just don't think the fitness part is that big of a deal. I mean, I don't know. It's there. It's a big element, I guess, but it's like the whole title is named around it, and it doesn't feel like it's that important. I think that's like not really the main focus of a lot of it. The main focus is she's reincarnated as this villain, and she wants her school life to be good, so she wants to make this villain and this villain better people, so she doesn't have to have all like the problems that the original heroine did in the story that she's brought into. So basically the entire series is her kind of like dealing with problems and, you know, of other villains and other characters and trying to make like this guy and this guy better people. I want to get something clear though, like I saw the cover, right? I saw the cover and it's this. This is the cover. But this is not super accurate to the series. In reality, it's more like she's a kid. And, you know, they're all like kids, which, I mean, I think from the cover I was expecting more of like, you know, I don't know, just not like a cutesy thing, but from the actual story it's more of like a cutesy like kid story. Like they're just like, oh, that's cute. Or it's like, oh, it's his first love, you know. Super like cutesy, like bleh. Super cutesy. If that's what you're into, that's what you're into. I mean, it's cute or whatever, I guess, but like, not really what I expected from a cover like that. Now, maybe it changes at some point into, you know, like a time skip or something, but if you are 46 chapters in and it's been like maybe a year in terms of the story's length, I feel like that, you know, that time skip is still a little bit of a ways out. Now, I have to say maybe it's, you know, a little unique that it didn't do a time skip, because typically these stories have time skips. But I don't know if I necessarily would say that's like a positive. It's just, it is what it is. It's just different. Yeah, okay. So gist of the story, yeah. She, you know, goes around at the beginning, tries to get fit, because she's overweight. Basic idea. Some funny elements, like the original version of her character died by, like, you know, being obese basically all the time, you know, having like a heart attack and things like that, which I guess is a little silly. Have the main villain die that way, but hey, you know, I don't know, it's kind of funny. Yeah, so she just trains, but this is like, I feel pretty brief and not really the focus of the series. Like soon after it goes into like this character and, you know, this character in terms of like, you know, basically her trying to deal with them more so than anything else. Also, the isekai element really doesn't play that much of a role half the time. It's just kind of like backstory as to like why certain things are happening, but she still acts like a child half the time, so I don't really see a point. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like it's like a pointless isekai. I hate when they do that, but yeah, it's a pointless isekai to me. Where like you probably could have written around having an isekai situation here and just had these, other kids be villainous with bad personalities, and then she, realizes the error of her ways and tries to fix them too. That would have been fine. Um, this guy, like super generic, like nothing, absolutely nothing. Um, really boring, like character that's just obsessive, like like super, wants to do everything he can to get the person that he loves to love him back, blah blah blah. Kind of like that nice on the outside, dark on the inside vibe, but like, super basic, like, you've seen this look a million times. So he's nothing special. There are some elements that I think are kind of fun, I guess, like he, tries to, like seeing him do different things to try to get, her attention or whatever, I guess, but it doesn't stand out to me that much. This character, the basic idea of his character is just, oh, he thinks he's the hero of the story, which isn't necessarily that unique. I've seen that before, but I think it's kind of fun how they do it, where he's like looking for main characters and side characters. So it's not just like, oh, everyone's, nothing to him. It's like, oh no, he actually wants to find like the main characters and the side characters, so I think that's kind of fun. And also like his turning point and like starting to like her, I think that's really fun. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's one of the characters that I think is actually kind of funny, and might give like a somewhat decent reason to actually read the series. Yeah, I think he might actually be more interesting than the main character, who's just like a nothing burger. She's just, the generic, like, really powerful character that doesn't really know anything else, and is kind of like a little, I guess, dense. Yeah, I think he's probably a little more interesting than the main character overall. Yeah, I mean, in general, I think, like, art-wise, we're talking, like, it's fine. It's pretty good art. I mean, I've shown you, like, some of the panels or whatever. Like, yeah, it looks fine. Like, I mean, it's important to note, like, this is not what it looks like. This, I don't know what's going on here. This is probably like a novel cover or something. But yeah, this is probably like a novel cover. But yeah, so the art's fine. The characters are generic. It's definitely going for a cute vibe, I would say, most of the time. Story-wise, it's super boring. It's just like, oh, here's, something going on that they're going to deal with. Like, oh, this character did something silly, let's see how they solve the situation. Or here's a new character, how are they going to change that character? If you like, ham and eggs, I guess, like, basic stuff that you've seen a million times, you'll probably like this just fine. But if you're looking, again, I always say this, but if you're looking for something a little more unique, a little more standout, this isn't it. Not again, I'm not gonna say it's bad. Like I said, it's probably like a 5, which means it's average. It's fine, but it does nothing different. I've seen almost every concept done elsewhere, and typically to better degrees. The only thing that I think is kind of fun is, this guy's character being, a little more silly in the end, and I think it's a little more involved in the whole idea of he's the hero and everyone else sucks and blah blah blah. Yeah. So I mean, it's I think it's a fun series. I definitely enjoyed. I'm not. I'm okay with like plain garbage every day. So I think it's a fun series overall. Like it's just. I don't think, just because it's somewhat fun means that it's like, deserving of like a good rating or anything, especially if I've seen everything again and again and again. And it doesn't really try to do anything, like, I don't even think it does what it wants to do that well half the time. I would probably, without this guy's character, give this like a 4. But his character is actually kind of funny. Like the whole dad jokes and everything, like it's his character is genuinely like one of the highlights of the series that I think is actually kind of satisfying in a world of plain boring nothing. Yeah, overall, it's a fine series. I don't think it's going to stand out. I don't think it will be your favorite, and I don't even think it will be one of your tops. I don't even think it'll be that good for most people. It's just alright. If you want just comfort food, this is, you know exactly what's going to happen whenever, and maybe like one or two funny moments every, couple chapters. Yeah, sure, this is it. Um, yeah, okay, overall. Uh, yeah, 5. Yeah, that's about it. I'd appreciate if you could like, comment, subscribe, blah blah blah. Leave a comment if you have any other series that you want me to talk about. Might have already read them, but who cares? I'll read them and talk about them again. I don't care. Yeah. Okay. I'll see ya.